My name is Harrison Hanvey. I work at Catholic University of America up here in DC. I've been there a few years now. This is my third year, and my role is working on all social justice and community service programs we have, specifically our immersion trip program, which is why we were down in Apopka over spring break this year. I was excited to go down to Apopka this year because our students went down for the first time last year, and when they came back, they had a lot of great stories. They were really excited. You know, we had never been there before last year, and so I didn't really know what to expect. We heard about the Hope Center through our friends over at Gonzaga University. And so, yeah, I was excited to go, and we had a really amazing time this year. What makes that experience so impactful and so special is the personal relationships. The students, obviously, all of us get to stay in homestays, and the families we meet, you know, treat us very well and just take us into their home and treat us like family. And we get to hear their stories and hear about their lives. And I think that's really special because it's certainly educational, but more than that, it's relational, you know. And when you learn about immigration, or you learn about you know, any sort of social injustice, that's powerful, but it's very different than when it's something that is affecting your friend or your family member or your neighbor. And I think that's the special thing about Hope Community Center is we feel, or at least I felt, kind of part of that community during that week, and you know, certainly still do. And so, you know, I stayed with Letty and Raul, their three daughters and their cousin and Letty's mom. And I just felt like another member of the family, you know, and that was really special and really nice. And I like that a lot. I think one thing that was special about them, and I don't know if all families are the same, but, you know, they were very open and very honest, and they just would answer any question you had. And, you know, Letty especially just told me a lot about their experiences living in Monterrey, and why they decided to immigrate, and what their experience has been here in the United States over the past several years. And the stories are like pretty tough, you know, or a lot of them. Also joyful, some of them. Certainly it wasn't just all sad stories, but I think when you're open with someone and vulnerable with them, it creates a special bond. And even though it was for a short time, we got along well, and them being so open and honest with me, I think made for a special connection. The workshops are great because they really give you a deeper understanding of why people migrate and what they face, you know, both policy-wise and otherwise here in the United States when they get here, what options are to legalize your status, or how you move through the system, etc. So it really gives you, the Hope Center does a great job about educating you on the topic. And so I think, you know, especially, you know, the coronavirus has just turned the world upside down, but I think especially now there are unique challenges for the immigrant population in the United States. And it's been in some ways inspiring to see how communities have responded, and in some ways disheartening. You know, over the past few weeks, I've been seeing, I got my stimulus check the other day, and no undocumented person will get a stimulus check. And, you know, no person who is married to an undocumented person will also get a stimulus check, which is absurd. And California, you know, that's from the federal government. The state of California is giving a stimulus check, $500 stimulus check to its undocumented citizens, which is great. And New York is supposedly trying to do some things as well. I live in Washington, D.C., been here several years now. And, you know, a couple of days ago, I called the mayor's office to ask if they could do something similar, you know, if they could also support undocumented immigrants here in the district because they're a huge part of our community. You know, over in Columbia Heights and in Mount Pleasant, those are like Latino communities um, that have a big undocumented population. There's citizens from all over the globe here because DC is such an international city. Big Ethiopian population as well, Korean population. But DC could do that. DC could prioritize that. And, you know, maybe if the mayor's office hears enough from her constituents, they'll prioritize that and put some money behind that, because certainly it's a possibility. Yeah, the youth group was a lot of fun. The students, I think, had a good time connecting with the high school students there. First of all, just the size of it was amazing to me, that I think there were about 80 or 90 high school kids there that day. And I don't spend a lot of time around high school age kids. You know, I work with college students, and it was fun to be reminded of the energy and the joy, and just like all the crazy things high school kids do.
Mhm.
And it was cool to see just, you know, their interest in the Hope Community Center, and how, you know, the different things they're passionate about. We did an activity where they had to be very creative, and one of the kids in our group decided to make it like an interview, like you were on Jay Leno or Conan or something like that, and it was
Mhm.
just really fun. And it was interesting also talking with a lot of the different staff members at the Hope Center, that a lot of them have also come up through the youth group. You, Lily, as well, you know.
Mhm.
Um, you know, it just goes to show the community there is in Apopka, specifically there connected through the Hope Center, that so many of these young people come up through programs like the youth group or different ones, and then continue to value the work there and the connection and the relationship, and continue to stay there and invest back into that community. It's like, certainly you feel like an ally, but you also feel like, you know, they're family members and friends, and it's not something that's, it doesn't feel as much like a political cause as it does doing something for your friends, um, and recognizing that, you know, we're all connected as well, and
Mhm.
the community at the Hope Center, um, and just the way it functions kind of reminds you that we're all in this together, and it's not about, you know, different races or ethnic groups or nationalities or whatever. It's about helping people who need help, and working with a community in solidarity. Um, and so it doesn't feel so much as like, uh, you know, a service, as like, you know, working together in a community way.